Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the championship for tonight's game between visiting Team Victory. Athletics. Here's the visitors, Victory. Leading off, number 4, Scotty. Number 7, Zach Zingans. And a third, number 18, Noah Junkins. And a fourth, number 50, Justin Powell. That is fifth, number 49, Hector Martinez. That is sixth, number 36, Jun Lee. That is seventh. And eighth, number 41, Tommy Mendoza. That is ninth, number 29, Lucas Ricky. And tonight's starting pitcher for Team Victory, number 33, Sergio Ruiz. And now, here's the score for yes. Lead off. The center field. See. Number 10, Smith. Victory. Number 13. Sure. Number 16.
Good evening, A's fans. This is play-by-play announcer Jarrett Smith coming at you live from Fresno, California, downtown Fresno, California, at the beautiful Chick-Chancey Park. Unbelievable. This is it. It is the final game of the summer collegiate season 2025 for the Fresno Athletics. Overall, it could be characterized as a successful one. They have certainly played well, a lot of good offense. That starting pitching has really taken off since about middle way part of the schedule, and they have been playing solid ball. Full blemish would be the road games. They were certainly in some of those, just not able to get some of them done. Did end up taking that last one in Reading, but we focus on today. 28-14 record coming in, looking for win number 29 against Team Victory. Last night, Team Victory jumped out early and really coasted to victory. It was 3 in the first, 2 in the second, and 1 in the third, equating to a 6-0 deficit. So tonight, they'll be bringing this lineup out. Tyson Miller leading things off in center field. The great contact lefty batting second. George Smith, their everyday shortstop. He has been a great hitter as well as Mikey Ramirez. He bats third. He's in right field. Parker Crystal, big power threat at the plate. He will be the DH today in the cleanup spot. Batting fifth, Isaac Fernandez. He was in right last night. He'll be behind home plate for tonight's game. Scott Mitchell in the lineup for the last game. He is in left field. Batting seventh, Jacob Maynor. He is at first. And over at the other corner position, Brian Sanders will take over third base. And Gabe Casares will be the second baseman in today's game. And on the mound, it is Tyler Gonzalez to round things out with the last start of the year. Young man just graduated high school, will be playing his college ball locally at Fresno Pacific. And he has certainly done well to impress just coming out of high school against some collegiate talent. First pitch into Scotty Piper, called strike. So for Gonzalez, he's pitched 23 and a third innings. This is his fourth start on the year, as pitch number 2 is a strike for a quick 0-2 to Piper. Credited with no wins or losses, does have a save on the year though. 6 runs given up, 4 of those being earned. 19-6 on the strikeout numbers, as this one's hit to George Smith. High throw, and Maynor's unable to get a hold of it. Probably would have been a safe either way with the jump taking him off the bag, and that is a leadoff base runner for Team Victory. Likely going to be ruled as an E6 on the high throw there. But either way, starting off the game just like they did last night. Leadoff base runner to start the game. Finishing off Tyler Gonzalez's stats, that's a 1.54 ERA. Very impressive. Opponent batting average at a 226. So Piper got 2 hits yesterday. Starts with getting on base here. It is officially ruled an error, and that first pitch is ruled a ball. That is into Zach Jenkins. Jenkins in the 2-hole again tonight. Couple of walks and a hit last night. Gonzalez taking a peek at Piper, comes home, 1-0 pitch, paints outside for 1-1. Another nice evening tonight here at the ballpark. Not as breezy, but still those temperatures are a lot cooler than we're used to in the Central Valley summertime. Pitch tries to get it low and outside. Fernandez can't do a frame job well enough, at least. Not well enough, excuse me. Umpire's just not buying it, is what I'll say, and it is 2-1. Pitch number 4 is chopped at. It's fouled into the seats. Count will run at 2 apiece now. Just taking a look at that lineup. I'm curious to see if manager Wyatt Featherston is going to be looking to get everybody in the lineup today for the last game. There's a fair chance we'll see that. Some starters tonight we didn't see last night. 2-2 pitch on the way. It's chopped towards Maynor. It's fair ball. No, it's called foul. On first glance, it looked foul to me, but that play was making it look like that it was fair. Brief pause here as Jenkins looking to dig back into the batter's box, resume that 2-2 at bat. Gonzalez taking a peek at Piper before coming set. 2-2 on the way. It's downstairs taken for ball 3. Payoff pitch on the way to Jenkins is popped up high in the air. Who wants it, Miller or Mitchell? It's definitely going to be Mitchell. It is Mitchell, and that is out number 1. After that fly out to left, Noah Jaquez coming up with Piper still remaining at first base. Jaquez, couple of hits last night, big hits too. 2 RBI double and an RBI single, along with a walk. So very productive. Whole lineup, for that matter, was productive for Team Victory. Popped up foul towards the right side, excuse me. I got directional dyslexia on that one, apparently. 0-1. Pitch on the way. It's hammered pretty well to left field, but not enough to get over Mitchell's head. That is 2 consecutive outs to left field. And now Team Victory is going to have to try and drive him in with 2 down. Not an easy task, especially with a runner just at first base. But we'll see if Justin Powell is up to the task. Powell was not a part of last night's game. The cleanup duties were Reed Farrell. So after a leadoff base runner via the air, Gonzalez looking to mow through these next 3 batters and get it done. Good start there. Looked like he slowed him down with the slider and gets the swing and a miss. Taking a peek at Piper yet again, making sure he's not going anywhere. He doesn't. Gonzalez misses low of this one for 1-1. Talked about it last night and throughout these evening games, that shadow line can really affect the line of sight. Haven't mentioned how it might be for the batters, though. Doesn't seem like it affected Team Victory that much last night, that's for sure. But I'm really curious about it going from light to dark, how that might affect it. Doesn't affect it here. He splits the gap in right center field. That's a base hit. Ramirez throws it into Caceres, and safe is the call. Wowzers, that was close. Great job there from Powell to extend that on a hustle double. That was really close to being out number 3, but the gamble pays off, and Team Victory has 2 runners in scoring position. All right, Hector Martinez, the man of this inning, trying to get Team Victory out to an early lead yet again, just like last night. Potential for a base hit to cash 2 here. First pitch on the way, taken outside for a ball. Martinez was in the 6 hole last night, so elevates 1 position in that lineup. Had, again, same as Jaquez, actually, 2 RBI hits, a 2 RBI single in the first and an RBI single here. Tough play it's going to be for Smith. Throwing the run. He's got him for out number 3. Great play from George Smith, running opposite direction. Slow roller, has to throw it on the hop, and it is on the money to keep that scoreboard clean. A's coming up with their first at-bats, looking to strike first this time. We'll see when we come back. Coming back with the bottom of the first inning, Mrs. Perry, Mr. Lebeau, Sencal 23, and Elias Uribe. Thank you all very much for tuning in and chatting. And thank you for the kind words as well. We're going to lead off this top of the or bottom of the first with Tyson Miller. He chops it on the right side. First baseman high toss to the pitcher covering, but able to get there in time is Ruiz for out number one. That's going to be one pitch, one out. Efficient stuff so far for Ruiz. So that'll bring up George Smith. And we'll get a quick run around that lineup for Team Victory. Don't have the positions, actually. The lineup was incomplete. They just listed infielders or outfielders, as this one's in for 0-1. So we'll just run our way through that lineup in the top of the second inning. In the meantime, George Smith down 0-1, one of the top hitters on this team. Pitch number 2 is on the way, pops it way high in the air, has the chance to drop. Nah, not really. Right fielder on it, easy peasy for out number 2. So 3 pitches, 2 outs here for Ruiz. Really can't ask much more than that. And it'll be Mikey Ramirez looking to get things going here with 2 down. Ramirez, another one of the top hitters on the team. We've seen him play all over that outfield and produce well. Wowzers, curveball almost hits him in the helmet. He's able to duck out of the way for 1-0. 388 batting average for Ramirez on the year. OPS just under 1,000. He could get it above 1,000 in this game. Remains to be seen. 28 RBIs, 37 runs, and a ton of stolen bases. Got stolen base number 29 last night, one away from reaching that 30 mark. Could go 30-30 actually. Usually that's home run stolen bases, but we'll consider it RBIs and stolen bases. This one hits Ramirez inside. He'll take first base. All right, 2-out base runner for the A's. Looking to do something about that is going to be Parker Cristall. We've talked about how there are some players with the ability at bat and on base, that combination that could get a run in from first base. Not an easy task, but when you got Cristall's slugging numbers and Ramirez's speed on the base paths, could very well end up being 1-0 with a long bomb here. This one's ripped down the line, just foul, 0-1. But I guess Cristall lost his helmet right or running down the line unless he took it off after going foul. Anyways, he'll be digging back in against Ruiz. 0-1. We mentioned Cristall's slugging. Let's take a look at what that number is. It is going to be a 524 mark and OPS over 1,000. So on base slugging, both great for him. Ruiz misses inside again. That is 1-1. Aside from those numbers, Cristall batting .333 on the year and a lot of extra base hits, 28 hits total, and 11 of those being extra base hits. Takes another ball here for 2-1. Pitch on the way, Cristall way ahead of that one. It gets ripped into Team Victory dugout. They have to duck to get out of that hot shot. And we'll now run it to 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Very interesting uniform anomaly out there for Team Victory that I just noticed. First baseman has the red cap on instead of the black one that everyone else is wearing. Thus is the variance in summer ball and the flexibility on rules for sure. That one misses down. It is full count now, 3-2. First baseman there is Powell for Team Victory. We're just going to have to try and dink and dunk with the numbers here to get all those positions correct. In the meantime, payoff pitch. Downstairs, ball 4 for Crystal. Runners now on first and second. Hit by pitch and a walk has given the A's a chance here for runs or a run in this first inning. We talked about last night how those free passes are just absolute killers, and boy, were they last night for the Athletics. Nearly double-digit walks last night, 9 of them. Also a hit by pitch, so essentially we'll call it 10. Pitch number 1 on the way to Fernandez. It's chopped at, gets just behind home plate, foul ball 0-1. Fernandez had a good night last night batting, had 2 hits and scored 2 of the 4 runs for the Athletics. Documented his series up in Reading as well. Just phenomenal work behind the dish for the Athletics, gunning down 3 runners in one game itself as he takes a swing and a miss here for 0-2. Shortstop playing well off of second base. He is pretty close to that third baseman, actually. Interesting shift here as this one's bounced in the dirt. Good block by the catcher to keep it in front of him. 4-2 and 1-2, excuse me. Catcher is Lucas Reiki. He will be the 9-hole hitter, so we'll see him potentially at the top of the second inning. He'll be the 4th batter due up. 1-2 pitch on the way, swing and a miss. Fernandez out in front of that slow one, and that'll do it for the A's in the bottom of the first. So 2 base runners get on with 2 outs, but nothing doing on that scoreboard. We are scoreless after 1. Team Victory coming back up to bat. Top of the second starts out with Lee chopping it towards his third base coach. Foul 0-1. Not a night Lee would want to remember last night. Started out with 2 consecutive pop outs to first base as he chops at this one foul 0-2. Beyond that, grounded into a double play and struck out twice. 0-2 advantage here for Gonzalez, looking to get that first batter out as opposed to how the first inning started. 0-2 pitch, low and outside for a ball, 1-2. Lee was fifth in the lineup, now down to sixth for today. Not crazy changes in Team Victory's lineup, but changes littered all over nonetheless. Lee swings and a miss at that slider, and A's will go around the horn after that strikeout for out number one. First strikeout there for Gonzalez in this one, and he's going to face off against Brady Yeaman. Yeaman a bit of a frustrating night, not because he couldn't get on base, but because he got on base a lot, not because of hits. He will here, though. That is going to split the left center gap. Base hit for him, and he'll settle in at first. Just talking about Yeaman's night last night. He struck out twice, but aside from that, he got on base 3 times. So teams certainly like that, but all 3 of them being a walk. So not able to really get that ball in play or get some hits. He does here, though, starts out his evening right, and the Team Victory has a base runner on in the second. Pitch number 1 on the way. That is to Tommy Mendoza in for a strike. Mendoza was the starting pitcher last night for Team Victory. Solid outing for him, but he swings and misses here, 0-2 to him. Looking at his numbers, he went 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, both of them being earned, and 6 strikeouts to 3 walks. Runs he did give up, it was just 1 apiece in each inning, just kept the A's scoring chances limited. Chops this one over to George Smith. Could be 2. Roll on to Caceres. Throw on to first. It's high and wide. Looks like Mendoza had that one beat anyways, and it'll end up being a fielder's choice. Here is Lucas Ricci, the 9-hole hitter, the catcher for Team Victory. Still looking to move around the base runner, Mendoza here. Essentially just took Yeaman's spot at first on the fielder's choice. Swing and a miss for him starts out his first at-bat. Ricci not a part of yesterday's lineup. So first at-bat of the series, starting off not so hot. Another swing and a miss, and that'll be strike 2. 0-2 advantage to Gonzalez, looking for that punch-out pitch to finish off a quick inning of work. There it is. Swing and a miss on the outside, and that'll put the top of the second to bed. Good inning for Gonzalez and the A's. He gets 2 punch-outs, and that will be the end of this half of the inning. Athletics coming back up to bat, looking still to score first.
bottom second. From this thing, number 15. Mitchell.
We're back with the bottom of the second. Scott Mitchell leads things off. He is the sixth hitter in this lineup. Pitch number one on the way. It is upstairs for ball one. Number two on the way of this at bat. It's down in the dirt for ball two. Mitchell, solid hitter for the team this year. It's been a tougher second half than the first half for sure. Not to say the first half was tough. It was pretty dang good, actually, for him in terms of hitting, except for a pulled muscle that kept him sidelined for a couple weeks. Broken bat sounds like over to short. Throw on the run. Gets him out in time for out number one. It's amazing to me how these collegiate athletes make things look routine, to be honest. That was a slow roller. Shortstop had to read that ASAP and get to it, and fields it on the run, and just an accurate throw. Good stuff from him. So that is going to be one down now. Jacob Maynor taking things over at bat at the plate. First pitch. Did it hit him? Yes, it did, says home plate umpire. That's the second plunked athletic batter of this game, and Maynor will take his base. One down, one on base. It'll be Brian Sanders, the third baseman, looking to move things around. Pitch number one, swing and a miss for strike one. Sanders was a substitution for his Franklin Pierce teammate, Luke Nevode, in the fifth or sixth inning, and he ended up walking 3 times in 4 innings. And speaking of a free base, that's another hit by pitch here for Ruiz. That is 3 in this game, and the last 2 batters get plunked here, clearly struggling for control with that ball. Another scoring chance here for the Athletics. Runners on first and second yet again. Last inning it was Ramirez Cristal. Now it's Maynor Sanders. Casares hits it up the middle. That could be 2. Martinez tries to be hero. He throws it away, though. That is a run for the Athletics. Jacob Maynor cashes in run number 1. They take the lead 1-0. So that's going to get ruled as a fielder's choice. And then E6 gets Casares over to second, gets Maynor in to score. Sanders is out at second. My point about being the hero, it looked like Martinez could have had an easy flip over to his second baseman, Yeaman, but instead took it to the bag himself and had to contort his body rather strangely to try to make the throw, and he throws it away as well with the stalemate. And just another prime example of how those free bases can really hurt you, even if it's not getting beat with solid hits. So let's correct that. It's going to be 2 down. It's runner at second, and we're back to the top of the lineup. That is Tyson Miller. He's in a 1-0 count. Now he's in a 2-0 count. Takes that one low. Miller's first time up was a first pitch hack, and it ended up being a ground out to the first baseman, Powell. Took a strike there for 2-1. Pitch number 4 on the way. It slapped just barely into the second deck behind Team Victory dugout, and count gets to 2-2. Martinez crashes looking to cover against Casares, but fails out, and Miller slaps that one weakly foul to the screen. Another 2-2 pitch coming up. Tries to paint inside, thought he had it. Umpire doesn't give it, though, and the count runs full to Miller. Miller's average has taken a bit of a dip over the last couple of weeks, but 376, you can't really talk about that and not say that that's not good. Miller's been a great hitter for this team. Showed up in June, I do believe, sometime in June, along with Brian Sanders. Essentially, we'll call it the second wave of players to arrive for the roster, and very successfully he has done for this team. Will be playing his college ball at Bakersfield starting this fall. In the meantime, he swings and misses for strike 3. Ruiz able to get out of this jam. Does give up a run, though, as Martinez throws the ball away into the Athletics dugout, and Maynor ends up scoring as a result of it. So A's take the early lead, 1-0. We hit the top of the third. Top of the third begins with the top of the lineup for Team Victory. Scotty Piper up for at-bat number 2, and he starts out taking ball 1. Piper's first at-bat reached base courtesy of an error by shortstop George Smith. And he finds himself ahead 2-0 here. Pitch number 3, sent right up the middle, right back where it came from, and deposited in shallow center field for a base hit. Bit of a aggressive turn there around first base. I was going to say, there's no way he's going to get to second on that, but he does have himself a leadoff single. Talked about those walks really hurting the A's, but also another part of yesterday's game was the ability of Team Victory to be able to get that leadoff base hit, base runner, whatever it may be, and that really carried them to be able to score those runs. Now we pick up with Jenkins. He takes a ball here, 1-0. Doing the math here as he misses for 2-0. Team Victory was able to get a leadoff base runner in 3 out of the first 4 innings, that only other one being the 3rd inning, and total for the game, 5 out of the 9 innings they were able to get a leadoff base runner. So that is certainly a good way to get yourself in winning situations. Count here ends up getting the same as Piper. It's going to be 2-1. Now 3-1 as Gonzalez misses outside. And 83 Ed Cat, not too sure who you're talking about, but if you're talking about the Athletics, it's going to be Tyler Gonzalez that's on the mound. As for Team Victory, it is Sergio Ruiz. 3-1 on the way. Painted low and outside for a strike, and count gets even at 3-2. Even, excuse me. It fills up at 3-2. Payoff pitch from Gonzalez. It's slapped at. Gonna be foul, looks like. Yes, it is. Long pause here as we wait for everybody to reset. Jenkins coming back to home plate. We'll see if Piper's curious to steal here as well. He stole a base in last night's game. Aggressive early base running and stealing from Team Victory, that is, in the first half of the game. They were able to swipe 5 bags. As this one is chopped at, it might have a chance to drop. It will drop. Unable to catch it is Sanders nor Mitchell. So we're going to have yet another try on a 3-2 full count. Gonzalez entered this inning with 28 pitches. Certainly not going to appreciate Jenkins eating up the pitch count here, looking to finish the deal. Another payoff pitch. That's a ball. Piper was already on the move as anticipated, and won't matter. Won't be a stolen base because he had that one for free with Jenkins getting walked. First walk for Gonzalez comes with 2 innings pitched in the 3rd inning, and runners on first and second. There's been a lot of traffic on those bases, but little run production so far from either team. Jaquez looking to change that here. Pitch outside, misses for ball 1. So Gonzalez so far has started out his 3 at-bats this inning behind, throwing a first pitch ball. Other 2 at-bats as well, where 2 pitches, 2 balls. We'll see if he can get it even here at 1-1. Yes, he can. Goes down the pipe. Taking all the way was Jaquez for the strike. Long pause looking at Piper. Comes home. Gets the call on the inside for 1-2. Seen a lot of things in these A's games this year. One thing still, which is tremendously hard, of course, is a triple play. Wouldn't it be nice for the A's if they could do that here? 1-2, chopped at, just foul. Sanders was already preparing for a hot shot towards him. Another 1-2. Gonzalez long stare at Piper. Comes home, popped up. It's going to drop into right center field. Base hit. Here comes the runner around to home. No contest on this one. Ramirez just throws it in to keep the runners at first and second. And Scotty Piper makes this game tied at 1-1.
50, Justin Powell.
Already 3 RBI hits for Jaquez in these 2 games. We'll just call it 1 1/3 games, really. Impressive stuff from him, and Team Victory certainly going to appreciate that here today. So it is first and second, still no outs, and it's the cleanup hitter Powell that has a chance to take the lead for Team Victory. He won't on that swing, though. He comes up empty for 0-1. Oh one on the way. It's downstairs. Evens up at 1-1. There is action going on in the bullpen. It is a bit of trouble for Gonzalez, but still only 1 run given up thus far, but no out still in this inning. But curious to see if they're just going to try and get a lot of arms in here today with it being the last game. Pitch number 2 on the way. That one doesn't get the call outside. A's dugout doesn't like it. Saw Gonzalez kind of shrug his head a little bit there at that no call. The 2-1 is chopped up the middle. High chopper. Smith able to toe tap onto first. That is out. 2 outs on that play. It was a bit of acrobatics having to be done there. Smith ran after the ball, got it cleanly, but overshot the bag a little bit there and had to stop his momentum, toe tap the bag, and still throw it on to first. And he's able to get that job done. So ends up being just a 6-3 double play. Jenkins is able to move to third, though. So the game leading run is just 90 feet away for Team Victory. Looking to get him in is going to be Martinez, and he sure does. In between the 3-4 hole, that's an RBI single for him, and it is the lead for Team Victory. They are up 2-1. Good 2-out base hit in there for Martinez. Really didn't take long, though. He hopped on that first pitch, got it done. We pick up with Lee now. First pitch to him was a ball, 1-0. There are 2 outs, so Gonzalez just looking to get out of this inning with getting Lee out. So far, he's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Takes that one high and inside. Had to duck out of the way of that chin music for 2-0. Chop to George Smith. Should be easy money. It is. Flips on to Casares for out number 3. That'll end the inning, but Team Victory was able to take that lead after the A's scored 1 in the bottom of the second. They are now up 2-1 as the Athletics get back to work on offense. First pitch starts out the leadoff hitter, George Smith, upstairs, really high upstairs. As a matter of fact, that looked to be a third-story pitch, and it is 1-0 to start out from Ruiz. Smith's first time up, swung at the second pitch and flied out to right field. Chops this one foul off the ankle. It looks like a little bit of a hitch in the giddy up, but sure, he'll be all right. Just one of those that hurts in the moment. Might be a little sore at night as well. Looks to be Zach Geis that's warming up for the A's over in the bullpen. No action for Team Victory. Looks like they're going to get all they can out of Ruiz. They got 5 innings out of their start of Mendoza last night. Certainly would like 5 or more tonight. Pitch number 3 to Smith is chopped up the middle. It's going to find the gap for a base hit. Martinez unable to get there, and that is a leadoff base hit for the Athletics. Mikey Ramirez looking to move Smith around those base paths. He did get on base in his first at bat. Almost did there as this one's way inside. George Smith easily going to take second on the passed ball. Looked like the catcher got crossed up on that one, was looking for something a little outside, ran way inside on him, and perhaps just didn't flip that glove to secure it. 1-0 to Ramirez, runner now in scoring position. Pitch taken outside for a ball, 2-1. Ramirez, the hit king going into this game. He has a 3-hit lead on George Smith going into the game, that is, but now it's only 2, of course, with that leadoff single. This one's chopped up the middle. It's going to be tough for Martinez to make that play. He can't. Throws it away again, and it is in the Athletics dugout. That is a run scored for George Smith. So Martinez has already had some gems in this game early on, but he has thrown not 1, but 2 balls away into the Athletics dugout, and it is hurting him. Ironically, both of the runs that have come in for the Athletics have been courtesy of the ball going out of play. I think Ramirez had that one beat anyways, but we'll see what it gets ruled as. Looks like it is going to get ruled as a hit, so that's a single, and Ramirez advancing to second on the error. Tie ball game yet again, and Parker Cristall looking to take that lead back. Ramirez already on the move. Cristall, is it fair? Is it foul? Oh, it was going right down that line, but I do believe it hit off of Cristall's foot or some part of the body, and that's why it was ruled dead from the start. Cristall's first time up, he walked in the first inning. That was the early threat here for the A's, first and second, unable to capitalize on it though. 3 straight innings of having multiple base runners on base. That's certainly a good start for them. Ruiz tries to hook a curveball in there, but misses upstairs. Couple peeks at Ramirez, comes home, hit a ton out to right field. It's going to be a fly out. Ramirez tagging up. He's on the way to third. That is easily third base for Ramirez. So Cristall does do his job here. That's the first out of the inning, but he gets Ramirez down the base paths 90 feet, and he himself is just 90 feet away from the game leading run for the Athletics. It'll now be Fernandez looking to drive him in. Fernandez's first time up, he struck out to end the first inning. This time he sends it out to center field, right center field, really. That is going to be caught from Piper, but easily coming in to score is Mikey Ramirez. Home plate tapped, and the lead for the A's. 3-2, now the score. Great baseball there from the Athletics. We've seen them struggle to do that at times, but that is just simply doing your job there. Crystal fly out to move Ramirez to third, and then the sac fly cashes in Ramirez. Good stuff there, and they are rewarded with the lead. So it's now 2 down, and bases are clear. Scott Mitchell has to duck out away to this one. Goes over his head for ball 1. Mitchell's first time up, he grounded out to short. That was one of the plays we talked about early on that Martinez made that was really, really good. Ruiz misses with another ball here. It's now 2-0. Gotta admit, too, I'm having a hard time seeing my computer screen here. I'm up on the concourse at Chachansey Park, and my goodness, that sun is glaring right into my screen. Had to move it in the way of my silhouette or shadow. Mitchell swung and missed at that one. It's now 2-1. Chopped up the middle. That might find a hole. It does. Similarly to George Smith's hit, Scott Mitchell rings it by Hector Martinez for a base hit. 2-out base hit at that. And the A's might not be done yet. Jacob Maynor, first baseman, looking to be the main man here, getting Mitchell around those base paths. He was hit by a pitch in the second inning. The first of 2 back-to-back hit by pitches. Rolls over on this one, but thankfully foul. So as mentioned, it was him and Sanders that was back-to-back plunks, and that wasn't it either. Crystal hit by a pitch. Ramirez hit by a pitch in the first inning, so Ruiz already had 3 hit by pitches going into this inning. Maynor takes this one outside for a ball. Count evens up at 1 apiece. On 1, Mitchell's on the move, but he'll have to go back to first. Maynor chopped that one foul for 1 and 2. Maynor keeps things alive, just a slight piece, but nonetheless, he remains in the batter's box for at least one more pitch. Ruiz looking for that final punch-out pitch on 1 and 2 yet again. We'll see if Mitchell decides to go this time. Tried to go 2 pitches ago, but of course the foul ball moved him back. Doesn't go here. Neither does Maynor, and wise to it as he takes that one low and outside for 2 and 2. Good eye from Maynard taking that one outside. Ruiz wanted it, doesn't get it, and count has run full. Curious observation I was looking at with Ruiz there. I've seen it with some pitchers, almost looks routine. They come set and then take a look back at times to second base, even though there's not a base runner. Maynard splits the gap, 5-6 hole. That's a base hit. And another base runner gets on base for the A's, and they are threatening to expand this lead in the bottom of the third. Good chance here to grow the lead. It's going to take some 2-out base hitting, though, and Brian Sanders is going to be the man up to the task here. We'll see. First pitch, swing and a miss for 0-1. Sanders hit by a pitch in his first at bat. Misses outside with that one, and it is 1-1. Second baseman Yeaman hovering around second in case Ruiz wants to check back on Mitchell. He doesn't. Comes home. This one's popped up a ton into right field. There's the catch for out number 3. So A's unable to get these runners on base in, but they already cashed in 2. That was Smith and Ramirez after their back-to-back singles. Hernandez with the sac fly. And it is going to be 3-2 Athletics. They're going dink and dunk back and forth here. Let's see if Team Victory can do it again and respond as they're down by 1. As we start the 4th inning, new pitcher to report. Tyler Gonzalez's day is done after 3 innings of work. We'll get into his stats. In the meantime, it's going to be Zach Geis taking over for him. We've seen Geis mix it up between starts and relief appearances. Of course, today being a relief appearance. So this will be his 11th game pitched on the year. Starts it out right with a strike for 0-1. So Geis on the year, 40 innings pitched. That's the 3rd most of any pitcher on the roster. 2-1 is the record he's credited with as he gets this one fouled off for 0-2. 22 runs given up, 18 of those being earned, 39 strikeouts to 15 walks, equating to a 4.05 ERA. Get back to see how Gonzalez's day shaped up here as the 0-2 pitch is inside for 1-2. Leadoff batter here is Yeaman for Team Victory. 7, 8, 9 batters due up. So Gonzalez is 3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 runs, both of them being earned, 2 strikeouts to 1 walk. 1-2 pitch is taken in the dirt and evens up at 2-2. Yeaman's first time up was able to get a hit with 1 out in the 2nd inning. Ended up getting out at second base on a ground out fielder's choice from Mendoza. 2-2 pitch taken inside, and it's gone from 0-2 to 3-2 for Yeaman. There is some action going on in Team Victory bullpen. We'll see if they bring Ruiz out for another one or that's going to be it. This one's chopped foul towards the bullpen. The bullpen catcher does a little dance over the foul ball to avoid getting hit. Wow, that looked pretty good, but it ends up being ball four. Yeaman able to work it from down 0-2 to get a leadoff walk yet again. Another leadoff base runner for Team Victory. Just like last night, 3 out of the first 4 innings, they get leadoff base runner on. As opposed to last night, though, they find themselves down early in the game. At this point, they were up 6-0 yesterday. They're down 3-2 today. First pitch in there for a strike to Mendoza, 0-1. Popped up, foul into the seats behind the Athletics dugout. Geis gets ahead 0-2 here again, looking to have a much different outcome than the one to Yeaman. Swing and a miss. That'll end it in 3 straight pitches. Mendoza goes down, and he is 0 for 2 on the day. First strikeout for Geis, third total for the Athletics pitching staff. Apparently, with the music in the stadium, we got John Cena up to bat. That's going to be Lucas Ricci. Instead, it's the catcher. First time up for Ricci, he's struck out. Right now, he takes the slider in for a ball, 1-0. Haven't seen any sign that Yeaman's going to want to try and swipe a bag here, but we'll see. Getting a solid lead off of first base. Maynor is covering. Geis is set. Takes a couple peeks at first. Comes home. Chopped up the middle. Could be 2. Geis over to Smith. Touches it over to first. That's a double play. Inning-ending double play at that. 1-6-3. Retires Team Victory. And the A's will be coming up in the bottom of the 4th.
It remains 3-2.
Bottom fourth, Caceres grounds this over to short. Throw on the way. Easy money for out number one. That was Martinez. One pitch, one out, and definitely not just one sub to report. There's a lot of action going on here for Team Victory. Ruiz's day is done. He just gets three innings, same as Gonzalez for the Athletics. It's going to be Jaquez actually on the mound. He started out the game at third base, and he'll come in to pitch. Taking his place at third is Barriga, and then second base, Gaiman is swapped out with Castaneda. Miller hops this one over to Barriga. Early test for him, and that's going to be safe. It was a hot shot, able to knock it down with his glove, but just not in time to gun down the speedy Tyson Miller, so he'll be in at first base. Impressive speed from that young man, really. He is able to really just leg out anything that could be in the infield. Certainly when I played, it would have been routine ground out. With Miller's speed, as we see it on display here, he is able to get bases easily. He is in at second base with a stolen base. So that'll be stolen base number 19. Chance for him to get to the 20 mark this season. We'll see if he goes really bullish here and goes for third. Jaquez taking a long look, comes home to George Smith, and he is plunked on the bat. Fourth batter for the Athletics that's been hit by a pitch in this game, and fourth straight inning the Athletics have had multiple runners on base. Mikey Ramirez looking to cash in another run. Wasn't credited with an RBI because it was an error from Martinez that ends up getting George Smith in, but it was his swing of the bat that did get George Smith in and made that possible. 0-1 is the count to him as he starts out here. So essentially it was a single. The throw went into the dugout, and then George Smith scored based off of that error. Otherwise, he would have been at third, most likely. 1-1 pitch here to Ramirez. He's gotten on base both times, aside from that third inning hit we were talking about. That is a hit by pitch, one of four for the Athletics in this game. 1-1, almost gets plunked here, has to scoot it and boot it out of the way. 2-1. Going to lead to a conversation here between catcher short and pitcher here, just to calm the nerves, perhaps. It looks like he's throwing them a little too wild here. Interestingly enough, the center fielder Piper is just taking a brief pause there. I thought he was sitting down on the field. He was crouched down on the knees. Either way, he's active and ready to get at him now. So is Jaquez. Gets back with a strike there, 2-2. Two to Ramirez, curves in there. That was a sharp breaker, but started out too high and misses high for full count, 3-2. Payoff pitch. Miller's on the run. It's chopped over to short. Martinez flips to second, throws way high, sails into Athletics dugout. My goodness, that's the third throw Team Victory has thrown into the dugout. Although the coach might be wanting a challenge here for the slide, I'm not too sure. Walks out, doesn't look too pleased. but looks like he's gonna just go back into the dugout. Miller was already on the move there, so he got third base. I don't think, again, that's going to be an RBI for Ramirez. It's unbelievable. It's the second time there's been an errant throw. That is, yeah, looks like that's going to be ruled an error. That's an E4 this time, not an E6. First pitch into Crystal is a strike, 0-1. So now we got runner on second with 2 down, and the score is 4-3, just catching up on all of that business. Ball taken there from Crystal to make it 1-1. Saul 0 for 1 on the day, flew out to right his last time up. Did draw a walk in the first inning. Similarly to Miller, Ramirez is one steal away from hitting a milestone. Miller was looking for 20 there when Ramirez hit that ball in play, so he'll have to wait a potential other time to get on base this game. Ramirez, however, he is in position to get stolen base number 30. Crystal grounds this one foul, a little too early on it. The 1-2, Jaquez looking to get this out of the way. Great hustle from number 5 for Team Victory, getting that foul ball. On pause. Oh, that looked like a balk, but Jaquez able to throw it, and Crystal fouls this one down the first base side to keep it at 1-2. Boy, it looked like there's a big flinch with the glove there before he went into his motion. I haven't noticed that to be a part of his regular wind up or stretch throw, but we'll take a look here and see if that is a part of his thing. Not really too much there. Looks like he might pat the glove a little bit. He missed there with a curveball for 2-2. Doesn't do it there at all, so I'm really curious to see if we see consistency or inconsistency with that one. Ball is hit foul right behind the Team Victory dugout. It's going to be another 2-2 on the way here to Crystal. Jaquez still looking for that final punch out pitch. Ramirez on the move, and that was going to be stolen base number 30, but instead it's going to be a hit by a pitch. I guess Ramirez has to move back to second on that, as it's a dead ball. So it's going to be runners on first and second with 2 outs, and that is hit by pitch number 5 for the Athletics at the bat. That is unbelievable. Not sure I've ever seen that before. 2 on, 2 out. Isaac Fernandez looking to move around. There goes Ramirez again, and he is going to have stolen base number 30. And Crystal is going to have himself a stolen base as well as he gets into second safely. Congrats to Ramirez on stolen base number 30 of the year. Impressive stuff for him. Might have actually confused his stats. My apologies. I thought he had 28 stolen bases. We'll check on that. I was looking at 28 RBIs, so big goof up on my part. Anyways, we get a ball thrown here to Fernandez, 2-0. Gonna have to check with my stats here to see. Another ball taken here, I do believe. Yes, it is. And it's going to be 3-0 advantage to Fernandez. Okay, I was close. Ramirez went into this game with 29 stolen bases. So he does officially have 30 plus. Congratulations to him. And Fernandez has a 4-pitch walk here, and bases are now juiced for the Athletics with 2 down. Nobody warming up in the bullpen, so it would have to just be a no warm-up swap here. Don't imagine that's going to happen, though. Probably just having a chat, trying to calm things down, get Jaquez through one more batter to get one more out and get this inning done and dusted. Athletics have only scored 1 in this inning, but they are on the precipice of scoring a lot with 1 base hit here. Scott Mitchell is going to have to be the man to do it. Had a single in his last at bat. Would certainly like another one or more in this one. Jaquez will get to work back from the windup now with bases loaded. First pitch, good result. Hard stuff on the outside for a strike. Ball outside or inside for a 1-1. 1-1 from Jaquez is popped at foul into the seats. So Jaquez again finds himself 1 strike away from ending this big old jam he's into. 1-2 on to Mitchell is hammered pretty well down left field line. It's going to drop in for a fair ball. Ramirez in, Crystal in. That is a 2 RBI single for Mitchell, and it is a 6-2 lead for the Athletics. All right, good production here from the A's. Much different from last night's start. Maynor, first pitch, flips it out to right field. It drops. Right fielder overcommits, and that's going to be a run in via Isaac Fernandez. Mitchell gets to third. Jake Maynor has his second hit of the night, and it's an RBI single. 7-2 Athletics. Well, this inning, another example of why those free passes hurt you. That is 2 hit by pitches and 1 walk in 4 straight batters in this inning. That was Smith, Crystal, Fernandez in that order. And it has resulted in the lead ballooning for the Athletics here, 7-2. Runner on the move. That's Maynor. Throw down. Woo, I don't know. Oh, ball gets dropped, so that makes that call easy. It's safe. Looked like Maynor was going to get in there easily, but almost looked like he was sliding in slow motion and was curious if that was going to be an out call. Instead, it is going to be runners at second and third. So again, 2 runners in scoring position for the Athletics. 1 base hit from Sanders can make it 9-2. Able to have patience on this one, watches it go by for a ball. 2-1 is the count. Jaquez's pitch darts it, but it misses outside, and Sanders is ahead in this one, 3-1, excuse me, in the count. 2 outs it is in the inning. Chopped at, foul towards the Team Victory coach. Good effort there on the grounder, but unable to come up with it. Count runs full 3-2. Chop towards third base. It gets by him. It's inside the bag. That's a base hit. Mitchell is in, and Mainer's in. Brian Sanders coming up with a 2 RBI single. The A's have now batted through their lineup, and it is a outstanding 6-run inning at the very least. And it is 9-2 Athletics. Ball 1 into Casares, and boy, just reflecting on this inning here for Team Victory, they were able to get the first 2 out of 3 batters out. Not necessarily, actually. They might have their third out here, though. It's dropping, it's sinking into center, but Piper is able to get it for out number 3. Long, painful inning finally ends for the Team Victory. And it is a 6-run inning for the Athletics. They have blown up this game. It is 9-2. Team Victory going to start looking for some answers here in the top of the 5th. Well, here's a treat for the Athletics teammates, fans alike, whoever it may be, as this one's fouled away 0-1 to the leadoff man, Scotty Piper. None other than Hayes Edens is now on the mound for the Athletics, and surprisingly enough, it's not his first appearance. This one's grounded over to short. George Smith, hard throw onto first for out number 1. Gonna have to pull up the stats here for Edens to see how he did in that first appearance. If I do remember correctly, it was 2 solid innings from him. So after the G6, it's going to be Jenkins up, the right fielder. He is 0 for 1 with a walk in the 3rd inning, one of the 2 runs scored here for Team Victory. Yep, here we are. Edens. He actually has 4 innings pitched on the year, 2 games played. Didn't know he had 2. He might have pitched the game that I was unable to be here and commentate earlier this month. That one was fouled back for 1-1. Either way, though, we take a look. 4 innings pitched and 2 hits, only giving up 1 run, it being earned. 4 strikeouts to 5 walks and a 2.25 ERA. Not too bad for a guy that's not playing his primary position, that's for sure, especially at this level. Swing and a miss. He chases upstairs for strike 3. First strikeout for Edens and the 4th strikeout of the game for the Athletics pitching staff. All right, so Castaneda is going to take over in Jaquez's spot, I guess, interestingly enough. I thought with Jaquez pitching on the mound, he would remain in the same batting order, but instead it'll be Castaneda batting third. First pitch was a strike. Second pitch is a strike. Edens breezing through this inning so far. He's already 1 pitch away from a 1-2-3 inning. Misses downstairs there, 1-2. Looks like we got a new catcher behind the plate, too. So Fernandez looks like his day is done. That is Julian Rodriguez behind the plate. 1-2 pitch on the way to Castaneda. Swung on, barely fouled off to keep it alive. Looking around the infield to see any more replacements. Most certainly is. That is Luke Nevode at third base. He'll take over for Sanders. Might be others, too, that I can't see in the outfield at the moment. There is action going on in the A's bullpen yet again, and it is looking like manager Wyatt Featherston is going to be rotating players a bunch in this game. 2-2 from Edens, rings him up low and inside. 1-2-3 inning for Edens, a typical catcher for the A's, and dugout's certainly going to love that. Halfway through this game, A's up big 9-2. Looking to add on even more as we start out the second half. Bottom of the fifth, a little bit surprising to me, but Jaquez remaining on the mound, perhaps just with how big the lead has grown. Miller chops this one to first and able to beat out Miller for out number one. Thank goodness didn't end up slipping there. Powell looked like his foot was starting to give out when he was running to the bag, but thankfully all good. Out number one. George Smith up for the fourth time and rips this one. Never mind. Incredible play from Martinez, able to grab that floating flare of a line shot there, and boy, it must have been super close at the top of the webbing of his glove. But great play for out number two, and a very, very quick 2 outs in this inning. First pitch in for a strike to Ramirez. I'm going to have to consult my Game Changer app here to see if he is credited with 2 wins officially. Don't want to give out false information on that. It is 1 hit for him today. And yes, no RBIs for him, even though 2 of the balls he's put in play has resulted in a run scored. Ball in the dirt there makes it 2-1 now for Ramirez. So he's been on base all 3 times, and the 2 times he put it in play and got a run to score, he ended up scoring as well in that inning. Ball outside for 3-1. Looking back at that 4th inning, Miller scored, started the scoring, and then Smith was out. And then 5 straight batters scored, and Ramirez hits this as a fly out to Piper to center field. A very, very quick 1-2-3 inning. The first one of the game for the Athletics on offense, but they've done all the work early in this game. They're up 7 as we hit the 6th inning. Top of the 6th is going to lead off with Justin Powell. Hayes Eaton's on the mound yet again, looking for a 2nd inning of work. Yanks this one outside. Good stop from Rodriguez, 1-0. One-zero pitch, swung on and missed for 1-1. Powell on the day, 1 for 2. Double in the 1st inning, but also grounded into a 6-3 double play. Action going on in both bullpens. Looking at the A's bullpen, it's actually Cooper King on the mound. We saw him throw a couple innings last night, potentially doing it again tonight. Speaking of doing it again, it's another swing and miss for Powell, back to back in this at bat. Edens has gotten ahead 1-2. Another substitution report as well. That's Aiden Perry at second base. So Gabe Casares' day is done. 1-2 popped up into the second deck above me. Just got to make sure that's not going to hit me. Hear it coming down. We're all clear. One and two, down in the dirt. Another good block from Rodriguez. Chopped over to Aiden Perry. First action for him in this game in his first inning of work. And it's successful. Throw over to Maynard for out number one.
Now,
Interestingly enough, looking at my score sheet, that's the first bit of action at all for the second baseman for the Athletics. So Casares didn't have any hit his direction. Hector Martinez now digging in for at-bat number 3. Had himself an RBI. Didn't list it. I imagine that was a single for him, though. First pitch is fouled away. Oh, 1 from Eden. Swing and a foul is the call from the umpire. Couldn't even hear a foul tip from my headset. I thought he might have just come up empty, but the slightest of tips to get it to 0-2. Oh, hey, checking out the comments. Hey, you called it, Send Cal. Third inning rally, sure got it, and then a fourth run on just onslaught. Perry, another ground ball hit to him, thrown in time for out number 2. 2 outs, both to the second baseman, Perry. And that'll be leading up to Lee coming up. Time called here from manager Wyatt Featherston. Could be a straight pull with 2 down. There's smiles coming from Edens. Yep, tosses it to Featherston and dapping up with the players. It's all feel good tonight with the last game of the year. It's been fun for these Athletics. Good friends, good memories made from all across the country. And it does look like it's going to be Cooper King coming into the game. Claps for Hayes Edens here. Haven't heard that too often in this season. That's awesome to see. Position player pitching did a solid job. That's an inning and 2/3. And we'll be right back after warm-ups. Quick warm-ups for Cooper King. It's over, and first pitch to Lee in there for a strike. 0-1. Eden's able to throw 5 straight batters out, so perfect outing for him. Congrats to him on that one. 1-1 pitch to Cooper King, or excuse me, 1-1 pitch on the way from Cooper King to Lee. It's a curveball that tries to break in, doesn't though. 2-1 here. Lee almost looks like he's faking showing bunt at the beginning of his at-bats, or at the beginning of his stance for each pitch, but looks to be a part of his routine. It's now 2-2. You can see it there. Yep. Bat out in front and then gets set. 2-2 pitch on the way from King, looking to finish this inning. Not quite yet. Fouled off the mask of Rodriguez. Shakes his head. Yes, another 2-2 try. Breaks in there for strike 3. Lee rung up on the dirty slider, and that'll end the top of the 6th. Cooper King closes it out for Edens, and that takes care of the top half of the 6th. A's coming back up to bat when we come back. Bottom of the 6th leads off with Parker Cristall. There's a new pitcher on the mound. That's going to be Michael Tuttle. Nearly gets hit with the first pitch he throws, does Cristall, but able to not wear it for 1-0. Cristall hammers this a ton out to center field. It's got Piper on the run. Oh, one hopper to the warning track. Cristall on the run. That is a stand up double to lead things off. That was a shot off the bat. It had bad intentions, was looking to get over that wall, but not quite enough. Either way, it is a heck of a shot for a leadoff double. All right, Julian Rodriguez's first at bat coming up right now, but brief conversation between catcher and pitcher. More action in the A's bullpen. My score sheet is going to be full with names today. That looks like it's going to be Cal Noonan warming up in the bullpen. All right, so runner on second, no out. Crystal playing a little bit of games there, moving around on the base path, trying to see if he can get a balk. Good jump to steal. That it ends up being 1-0 here for Rodriguez. Scott Mitchell still looks to be in the game. He is the on-deck hitter. Same with Jacob Maynor. 1-0 pitch on the way in the dirt, 1-1. Action in the bullpen for Team Victory as well. Cristal is on the move, and that's going to be stolen base number 2 for him on the day. He's stolen second and he's stolen third. Would be crazy if he stole home. As a matter of fact, we did see that last night. That was with Scotty Piper for the first run of the game for Team Victory, for anybody for that matter in the game. It was impressive. Swing and a miss from Rodriguez. Goes from 3-0 to 3-1. Also, I had somebody tell me in the stadium that there might be a little bit of rustling you could hear in the audio. Apologies for that. The mic stem, if you will. I guess that's a hit by a pitch. I'll get back to that point. Rodriguez hit by a pitch. There wasn't a signal from the umpire. Oh, that's probably just ball 4, take your base. Either or, that's a free pass and runners on the corners. Getting back to my point, fan here at the stadium, thank you for that, letting me know that you can hear a bit of rustling. The mic stem on my headset is broken, so I have to hold it up. Sometimes I'll have to bend it. This is hit over to Martinez. Rolls 1, rolls 2. That's a double play. But a run does come in to score there for the Athletics. Crystal in on the double play, and another run. 10-2 Athletics. Reckon the Team Victory will take that trade off, 2 outs for 1 run, with it already being a 7-run game. Now it being 8 runs. Possibility of a mercy rule here. We have played mercy rule at Chick-Chancey Park in the past, but 2 factors are not in play, or in play here, I should say, that we are not competing with the Grizzlies for game time as Maynor hits this one into right field. That's a base hit. Maynor having himself a day. That's his 3rd hit of the day. Good stuff for that young man, and he'll settle in at first with 2 outs. So, as mentioned, we've had mercy rules here at Chancey Park for these games, but Grizzlies are not here, so it's just exclusively our home ballpark for the week. And additionally, it is the last game of the season, so these boys might want to play out the whole game just to soak it in before heading back home to their colleges, whatever it may be. Pitch number 1 into Nevode. That's a ball, misses upstairs. It's his first at-bat of the game. For him, Sanders was able to get himself a 2 RBI single along with a walk. Mainer's on the move. Throw down to second. That looks to be out. No, safe is the call. Wow, both times Maynor has looked dead to rights at second base, but somehow squeaking in for a stolen base. Popped a mile high in the air towards the first baseman and caught by Powell for out number 3. That'll end this 6th inning. Another run in for the Athletics, 2 away from a potential mercy rule. They're rolling big time as we hit the top of the 7th.
Number 27, Brady Eatman.
Brady Yeaman leading things off. Lefty versus lefty matchup. A weak liner into the screen for 0-1. So Cooper King just a third of an inning pitch for him, finishing off Eden's day. But solid, of course, for him. One batter, one strikeout, the rest being zeros. This one gets back to the screen for 1-1. Cal Noonan is the new pitcher for the Athletics. It's been good having the Noonans from Canada in town to watch their son play. They were up with us in Reading. Saw them yesterday. I assume they're here today as well for the last game. Haven't seen them around, but it's always great to see the parents and meet y'all at the ballpark. 2-1 pitch, fouled into the seats for 2-2. So I am running out of spaces here to write pitchers. I would typically use the pitches by innings column, but, well, yeah, we can. We'll just put Noonan there. Just can't write anything else with numbers. This one's chopped over to Maynor, calls off Noonan, goes to the bag himself for out number 1.
Now,
Tommy Mendoza digs in for at-bat number 3, 0 for 2. Fielder's choice, strikeout, swing and a miss here, 0-1. Nobody warming up in the A's bullpen, curiously enough. That might be all the active arms they have for tonight, so perhaps Noonan's going to see this one out. This one's hit a ton in the air. Mitchell's going to have a long time to watch it into his glove. There it is, out number 2. Lucas Ricci, the catcher, 9-hole hitter, up with 2 down. Another 0 for 2 day for this lineup. Strikeout and a 1-6-3 double play his second time up. He takes a strike here, 0 for 1. Noonan gets it by him for 0-2. That looked like that might have been a changeup. Hard to tell with broadcasting up here a bit more, but it's nice to give y'all a better view in terms of the height. Also, the breeze on the concourse is pretty nice. Can't lie about that. 0-2 stroked out to left. Mitchell unable to get it. And the angle he took, it's going to get by him. That's going to be a stand-up double for Ricci. First hit for Team Victory since the 3rd inning. They'll certainly take it. Bit of a polar opposite game here for the both sides. Of course, Fresno A's were able to come back in a little bit, but from 6-0, it was always going to be hard to come back. They made it a 4-run game, ultimately 8-4 tonight. Bigger margin of runs here, 10-2, 8-run deficit here for Team Victory as Piper watches that one in for a ball. It's going to be 2-0 to him. Piper has himself a single in the 3rd inning, reached on an error as well to start out this game. Noonan comes home on the 2-0. It is called strike, high and outside rather. Starting to really lose daylight here. That golden hour look on the buildings is fading, and the stadium lights are going to start overtaking this field. Ripped up the middle by Piper. Another hit for him. Could be an RBI hit. Miller's throw coming in. It's cut off by Maynor, and that is an RBI single for Piper run in. First run for Team Victory since the third inning, 10-3. So Noonan still looking to get out of this inning here. First pitch called ball there to Jenkins, 1-0. Jenkins 0 for 2, did get on base with a walk in the third, one of 2 runs that came in. Those were the only 2 runs for the longest time until we just saw that RBI single. Riki coming in after his single and Riki's double and Piper's single. It's now 1-1 here to Jenkins as he offered at that one. Trying to take a look around the field more. I don't believe there's any more substitutions. That's certainly Miller and Mitchell in center and left. Rodriguez throws it down. Oh my goodness, that looked close. Boy, Smith almost got that glove in front of Piper's hand as he was sliding into the bag, but ultimately not. That is a stolen base for Scotty Piper. 2-1 on the way. Called strike on the outside. Looked to be a changeup, and count evens up at 2 apiece. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Swing and a miss. Gets him to chase low and outside. And that'll end this top of the 7th. Team Victory able to get 1 run on the board, but still trailing big time by 7. We will stretch in the 7th inning and be back in the bottom half with the A's back up to bat. First pitch of this bottom of the 7th called ball. Second pitch called strike. So Aiden Perry will be digging back in a 1-1 count. Perry took over for Casares in the 6th inning defensively, that is. This is his first at-bat. Takes a ball, 2-1. Pitcher on the mound is still Tuttle for Team Victory, just their 3rd pitcher of the game, as opposed to the Athletics, who have already burned 5 pitchers. Don't see anybody up in the bullpen, though, so could just be 5 total as Noonan looks to come back out on the field, most likely. Perry ripped that one, but it was just foul for 2-2. Ramirez jogging down to get that foul ball in short, so I reckon his day is over. He was the right fielder today, so if I had to guess at who might have replaced him, I would wager Luke Ree as the guess. 2-2 pitch on the way to Perry, taken outside for a ball. Talked about Perry's hitting struggles. Not that he can't get contact on the ball, but just can't quite find the gaps. But one of the things he has done really well in the absence of hits is walking. Chops this one off of his leg. That looked painful. I believe he's looking to dig back in for that bat, so he'll be all right. And yes, indeed, I do see Luke Ree with a batting helmet and a bat in his hand, so that will most likely be the substitution for Mikey Ramirez. Should be a straight swap as well, as we're used to seeing Ree in right field. Looks like Piper might be trying to call for time. Unsure. Okay, looks all right. It almost looked like he was trying to signal for time, like with his belt broken or something like that. But anyways, full count pitch to Perry, ripped up the middle, base hit for him. All right, Aiden Perry getting in on the action with a base hit. Good stuff from him, and we'll rotate to the top of the lineup. Tyson Miller digging in for a fourth time today.
Miller.
Tootle taking a peek at Perry, comes home. First pitch to Miller, chopped up the middle, could be two. Great pick on the short hop. That is going to be a fielder's choice ultimately, but my goodness. Martinez looks like he's moved over to second. Just an absolutely great play with the glove on the short hop to get the fielder's choice force out at second. So Miller takes Perry's spot at first base. Well, I reckon if you're going to get an out, that's not a bad swap that the A's don't mind, as you got an absolute speedster on the base paths. Miller still looking for stolen base number 20. Going to have to slide back here. Safe is the call. George Smith in for his fourth at bat as well. Has a single, has scored once, also hit by a pitch. First pitch to him, swung on and missed. He was slow to get to that one. Miller hopping around at first, thinking about going. Doesn't go here, though. Ball misses. I don't know where, to be honest. I guess a bit high in the zone. 1-1. Be curious to see if they do get Miller going on the base paths, because it is a big lead pretty late in this ball game. Fouled into the screen right next to Luke Reed, the on-deck batter. 1-2. Talked about how we're going through that transition. Lights are officially off the building. That sun is going down, and the lights are taking over on the ball field. Piper making a big shift change there. Hustles all the way from a skewed left to a slightly skewed right in terms of his position. 1-2 pitch is fouled back from Smith, so we'll do it again on the same count. Tries to ring him up, but curveball misses outside for 2-2. Another check on Miller at first. He gets back in there safely. Two on the way. Smith hits this down the right field line. It's curling foul. Right fielder just unable to get to it. It'll be another 2-2. little bit of a delay as we get that foul ball back in. Gets to the first base coach, Ethan Winter. Smith digs back in 2-2. Tootle looking to finish off Smith for out number 2. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss at that curveball. Dirty for out number 2. Only the third strikeout for Team Victory pitching today. They'll certainly take it, though. Just get these outs and try and get some runs on the board with that limited innings left. Only 6 outs for the Athletics to go defensively to get this game done with. Another check on Miller over at first. He's safe yet again. Wasn't really too far off the bag anyways. So now we get to see Luke Reed's first at-bat of the game. First pitch onto him. Curveball loops way too high for ball 1. So nothing to report on Reed today, of course, but taking a look at yesterday. Scratch that, wasn't. Oh, yes, he was. He was the DH. My apologies. We'll wait on that thought, though, as this one's hit out to center field for out number 3. All right, so 1 runner gets on base for 2 runners technically, but only 1 runner at the same time. And Team Victory able to keep it scoreless here in the bottom of the 7th. Deficit is still 7 for Team Victory. They got to get to work if they want to try and get a comeback bid in this one. Castaneda's second at-bat starts with a foul ball. Came in for Jaquez. Jaquez started the game and also pitched. Now Castaneda struck out his first time. Certainly doesn't want to do the same here. Takes ball there after his foul ball. 1-1. Noonan's 1-1, misses low and outside. 2-1 it'll be. Don't see any more defensive substitutions here for the A's. Might have just depleted their bench in this one, really. Swing and a miss there for 2-2. Trying to think if there could be anybody else they would replace. They've burned through a lot of arms and a lot of position players. Noonan's 2-2. Swing and a miss. Gets Castaneda out for second time in this game. 1 down in the 8th. That is 8 strikeouts total for the Athletics pitching staff. That is shared across all 5 batters, I do believe. Yes, it is. 2 for Gonzalez, 1 for Geis, 2 for Edens, 1 for King, and 2 for Noonan. Single ripped in between Nevode and Smith. That is base hit for Powell. Second one of the day for him. And one out base runner for team victory.
Hector.
One on, one out. Noonan's first pitch to the new batter. That's another base hit. No chance for Smith to hop and get that one. Splits left and center. Aggressive base running here to try and get the out third. Oh, collision at third. Nevode looks hurt. He looks hurt. Okay, getting up pretty quick. That's good to see at least, but looked like he was wincing in pain. Lead runner Powell is going to be out at third trying to stretch it on a bloop single into the outfield. And yes, indeed, trainer and manager Wyatt Featherston's going to come out and have a look to see what's going on. A lot of limping. Looks like the left ankle that is hurt. Looks like it's going to end up being a double for Martinez, though. Tells both trainer and coach that he should be good to go just fine. So he'll stay in the game. Good to see, but definitely not feeling good. Likely going to be sore. No doubt about that. Definitely looks like he's still in pain, no doubt about it, but that's the love of the game there, staying in and wanting to play through injury. Applaud that and hope that nothing too serious and he is all right. In the meantime, we pick it up with, it's going to be 2 down now. That is Martinez at second base. First pitch into Lee, strike one. Lee is a man that would dearly love to buy a hit right now. He is 0 for 6, I do believe, in this series. Now 0 for 7, actually. Another swing and a miss out of him there. That is 0 and 2. Action going on in the bullpen for team victory. We'll see if they come on for the bottom of the 8th or if it's still going to be Tootle. Runner on the move, but he'll have to go back to second as this one is fouled back. Still no action in the A's bullpen. Could end up warming up in between innings or when the A's are up to bat, but it's looking like very well this might be Nish. 0-2 pitch on the way. Lee fouls it into the screen. Noonan taking a peek at Martinez, comes home, tries to loop one in on the outside, doesn't, and it's 1 and 2. See, the spin on the ball just really didn't pull over the top of it, didn't have a chance to break down. This one's hit out to left field. Mitchell on the run. Miller calls him off, gets the catch for out number 3. 2 hits in this inning for team victory, but doesn't result in any runs, and that'll end it for the top of the 8th. Last at-bats, highly likely for the Athletics coming up of the season when we hit the bottom of the 8th. But in the eighth, Parker Crystal leads things off. Wasn't able to get a glance on the jersey number. We'll see right here to see if there is a new pitcher. Tell you what, the windup does look a little bit different. So most likely, yes. Crystal's at bat starts out 1-0 here. Crystal 1-for-2 on the day. Would likely be, or not likely, you'd expect it to be more, as this one's fouled a ton out of play, deep, high into the first base stands. Anyways, you would expect more instead of just 1-for-2 with this many runs on the board and this many hits, but hit by pitch and a walk for him means that just 2 at-bats count. The double he had in the sixth and the flyout in the third. 1-1 pitch is hammered a ton out to center field, but Piper able to get a good beat on it to get out number 1. Julian Rodriguez with his second at-bat of the game, looking to end the season on a high note with a hit here. Did walk his first time up. That was in the 6th inning. First pitch, yes, he did go. That's a strike, 0-1. Might have been a strike on the pitch either way. 0-1 pitch, slider, nice pitch there to break in for a strike. 0-2 already to Rodriguez. Mitchell is the on-deck hitter. And Naveau does have his helmet and bat in hand, so looks like he is doing all right, hoping to get a crack at another at-bat. It's going to take one of these guys getting on base, though, either Rodriguez or Mitchell. He took a ball there, did Rodriguez, so it's 1-2. Popped up right behind me. Gonna have to keep an eye out. Yep, that's exactly why. Thankfully didn't hit me, but it sure was close. Gonna grab this foul ball real quick. All right, we're back. Foul ball in hand. That is now 2-2 to Rodriguez. Tries to frame the outside slider, doesn't get it though, and Rodriguez has worked it from 0-2 to full count at 3-2. Payoff pitch, not quite yet. Fouled to the left of the third base bag. We'll do it again on 3-2. Rodriguez spoils another one, bounces off the railing, foul ball. Another payoff pitch incoming. Rodriguez swing and a miss. He ate up pitches there, but ultimately unable to get on base. And that is out. Number 2, 4th strikeout, 4-team victory in this one.
Now, number 15, Mitchell.
First pitch into Scott Mitchell, called ball, 1-0. Mitchell, 2 hits for him on the day, had a 2 RBI single in the 4th inning. Good stuff to see. Mitchell serves this one out in the right field. That's going to be a base hit. And a 3-hit night for him. Good stuff. Scott Mitchell. So it will be Luke Nevode coming in for his second at-bat, looking to finish off the season right. Are we going to see a pitching change here? Also, I do believe I have the number now. Yes, there is somebody warming up in the game, so could end up being the end. We shall see. So Tootle was the pitcher that was coming in to this ball game. He was number 34, and that's definitely not 34. That was 45 on the mound, so that's Josh Flores. Does look like we are going to have a new change in this one. We'll have to pull the number for you, but not quite done with this bottom of the eighth as Mitchell's able to get a single. We'll see what happens when we come back. Misspoke before we go into break. It is not going to be Luke Nevode coming up, or Nevode, excuse me. He is on deck. This is Jake Maynor, who's had a day himself, fouls this one away for 0-1. Looks like Ryan Nowlin. Can't quite tell the handwriting, but I do believe that is Ryan Nowlin. So pitcher number 5 here for team victory. Maynard takes this one in for a strike, and he is quickly behind 0-2. Maynard 3 hits on the day. All three of them being singles, has scored twice as well. Impressive stuff from him. One-two pitch to Maynard, swing, and this bottom of the eighth, and very likely the last inning of at-bats for the Athletics. Only 3 more outs to get to finish this season off with a sweet, sweet victory. A's up 10-3 as we hit the top of the ninth. Top of the ninth starts out with a swing and a miss. 0-1. Looks like we have a pinch hitter report too. It was supposed to be Yeaman. Instead, it is going to be Chris Barriga. So 1-1. He will start out his first at bat of the game, I do believe. 1-1 pitch. Catches the outside for a strike. 1-2. Finish him off. He does. Sound like a foul tip in the glove. Umpire confirms it with the hand signal. Strikeouts. 1 down, 2 to go.
Now, Eddie Gutierrez.
First pitch into the new batter. That's Eddie Gutierrez. He was the 8-hole batter. It's a 2-0 count for him to start. First at bat of the night for him. Gutierrez had himself a single in yesterday's game, also a hit by pitch, and he's looking to get a free base here. He's already ahead 3-0. Four-pitch walk for him, so base runner for team victory. It's looking like it's not going to be victory for team victory today, but it always starts with one. Gutierrez takes first base. It's going to be another new hitter for them in this inning. That is 3 straight new batters to start out this inning. It's going to be Braden Brewer. He was the 9-hole hitter yesterday. Strike 1 to start him out. Sorry if we're having technical difficulties. Looks like the Wi-Fi is starting to kind of crash on us at the moment. So Brewer in yesterday's game, he had a rough one, that is for sure. 4 strikeouts. He did end up reaching base once. That was an error made by the shortstop. He is ahead, or behind, I should say, in this count 0-2. 1 pitch away from striking out 5 times in this series. Noonan looking to finish it off. He does. In the dirt, he's already out, though, as Gutierrez is occupying first base, and there's less than 2 outs. But with that strikeout, there is now 2 outs in the ball game. 2 down, 1 to go. Top of the lineup, Scotty Piper. First pitch into him, off speed for a strike. Yeah, Wi-Fi was so great for this game, and all of a sudden it is just not so great, that's for sure. Sorry about that for the ending of this game. Hopefully we get it a little more stable to end this ball game. 1-1 count, it is to Piper. Piper has 2 base hits on the day, both being singles. Two one pitch, swing and a miss, and it goes to 2-2. One strike away from ball game in the end of this season here. Noonan coming home to Piper. Gets him to swing way inside, and that's a strikeout to end it. And look at those Athletics. They're going to go gather out in the outfield. Let's see if I can get you a better view of that. There they are. Got to tilt this camera up a little bit. Look at them circling around in the outfield. Good stuff there. We'll pan out for their meeting on the mound. And that is the end of the season. It is ball game. Today, A's finish off the season on a high note. They get the win 10-3. Good, outstanding offensive performance for them today. It ends up being 5 pitchers that contribute to that one. I do believe that's going to be Geis that will get the win for them today, as Gonzalez did not go enough innings to get credited with the win, but all around good performance from the team, really highlighted by that 6th-run 4 inning, and they will finish with a mark of 29-14. And I tell you what, folks, thank you very much for all of your support during this season. For a recent college graduate as myself, trying to get into media communications journalism, probably more so TV news as opposed to sports. Either way, this was a lot of fun, and thank you for putting up with the growing pains with me getting smooth, a little more comfortable with multitasking, all that sort of stuff, and a little smoother on the calls. It was an absolute privilege. It was so much fun. Sport I grew up watching, and certainly will miss it. Tons of games we fit into those 2-month stretches, but it was an awesome time. To all the parents out there, you got a special group of young men. They came together, great chemistry this year, a lot of fun, and obviously they were good at having fun and good at baseball with their record of 29-14. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your support of the Fresno A's. Thank you to Colorado Rockies, Fresno Grizzlies, for allowing us to share this beautiful field, Chachansey Park in downtown Fresno, for the season. So that is going to be it. Yep. Thank you to everybody in the chat. That's it for the season. It's been an absolute honor. Thank you very much. And signing off for the season for the last times, Jarrett Smith.